Good morning, good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at the XRP price action, zooming in on the 4-hour and then checking out Bitcoin along with liquidity and the Sigma coin. So, all right, still the same old story since yesterday. We had a nice little candle. This one hasn't closed yet, of course. It's going to close on the 18th, so we've got another roughly 2 days left. And a little less. And so this guy has a good wick, though, on the bottom so far, where we've got a lot of buying pressure stepping in and buying into that. Now, of course, this guy's got a big sell pressure, but we're definitely curving through here. So I figured I'd zoom into these indicators so you can see what I'm just talking about a little bit easier on the video. Here is the pass through of that 50-yard line that we were talking about. We can see that it's starting to get right above this. So this is either a rejection area or a continuation. And the continuation can be extremely explosive, but we were oversold when we hit the indicator telling us that it was time to go. So there's that going on. Then we zoom in on this guy. You can still see that the green is separating from the white, and that's what we want to see. Now, it doesn't always have to stay separated, right? So there can be falses, right? So here's one where you had a wrong foot where it started separating and then it came back and some got smacked down. So that's the importance of stop losses into your price action. So so those things can occur and do occur every now and then. So like here's where that area was. A lot of craziness going on in this region. And really, if it was telling you that we had a indicator go off here, you're going to want to make sure that you start entering into this position in this candle and then stop. This would have been a loss of 10% in your positioning. You would have made it back through all these other ones. So it's not the worst thing in the world when I told you to get out. But putting a stop loss into your trades, or we zoom more into this price action to kind of get an idea of what's going on with the chop would be a good idea. Notice too that it doesn't have you get this wick down here that came to 161. So you can definitely buy and sell. This is just the easy mode of getting most of the move. So so that's something to just keep in mind of. I don't think that the indicator is going to flip and wrong foot us. We already had one, right? We had this wrong foot here. It'd be crazy to see another one, but we're not going to put it past Mr. Market. So zooming in on the short-term time frames, here's your 4-hour. What I like about this is we were mentioning that there was the liquidity gap down here, and we were kind of anticipating that we would get down to $2. We actually didn't. We actually came up pretty good here and came to 202 and swept a portion of the liquidity, but didn't go much further than that. And you can just see, if you just look at this, that there's somebody here absorbing price, right? So here's where it comes down, and it just can't get through this all weekend. Kind of messes around, immediately bought up, overbought, right? Because people are like, oh wow, it's on sale. Gets sold back down again, hits the same area right here, chops, sold, bought back instantly, even faster than this one. And now we're still just kind of grinding through this. So there's definitely accumulation occurring in the background because it's hitting this resistance on this line, right? And that's exactly what we want to see. So don't know if that's going to be targeted, but here's our 4-hour momentum. And you can see we were told to have the drop down through this region right here. And you can see that price action was actually falling through that. Again, here's where it was telling you on the 4-hour to kind of get out. Again, we're looking down here, so I apologize. So so you got the jump in, have fun, everything's great. 4-hour flips red, bail, come back in again, nothing. Wrong foots you a few times through here, ultimately gives you a breakout, comes back in and says, nope, you're right back to where you were before, wicking low, and now you're right underneath that price, and now you can actually start working on this. So if you're doing some more quicker trades, the 4-hour is your key, and here's where, again, we're getting told that it's time to start moving to the upside. So that's good. So then we say, okay, great. How's Bitcoin looking? Well, let's jump over to Bitcoin. Here's Bitcoin 4-hour. Wave 1, wave 2, and now you have an impulsive breakout, back test of that high. I mean, cleaner than clean. Inefficiencies all the way over here at 103. So super easy to squeeze back up to 103. And then you even have the inefficiencies at the 110 level that even play out here. So I believe the 200-day moving average is right here at this level, which is why I think this line is here. So there's a bigger resistance kind of right up in this region. I'd say it's probably right there. So all right, so now the Bitcoin question is going to be, do we just go into a retrace and that's it, or does it have a continuation? So we'll be looking into that here shortly. So going back to our Bitcoin fractal here for the market cap, we copied the 2017 fractal, overlaid it against this price action, and you can see that into this price action, we were pretty much consistent with each step up until we got to this region, and then it stretched along with volume massively increasing. Well, we were still following along with this guy. So if like I just pull this guy over and we move it right onto that, you know, you could say there's your capitulation, and then there's like kind of your first little pit stop, you know, on the way up the mountain right there after the capitulation. So we start working on our just grinding, get up here, freak everybody out, 200-day moving average, back test that 200-day moving average, and away we go, right? And it wrong foots everybody into that zone. So far, there's your, look at that, you can even see the little bull flag. Look at that, that's crazy, right there, right there, right there, right there. So yeah, this is my thesis on what we're doing, because it's the same exact wave count, just extended, which is messing with everyone's mind, because of the volume of Wall Street. So yeah, man, that's crazy to even see the same bull flags starting to form. So we probably will go up and chop and do another bull flag right up in here. So anyway, that's the crazy part there for Bitcoin. And finally, Sigma. Wowza, we've done it, guys. We've made it above this next local high. This was the area I wanted to see as a reclaim, and it's beginning. Now, this was our next inefficiency, and our next hurdle is to get up to here and clear this one. This one's like the big guy. We get to go above that guy. That's like huge. So 860 market cap. Buying demand has been stepping in, which is awesome. And I think this has to do with the potential for the party coming up that's on its way. We've got the community being fucking, you know, there every single day. And then you got the next component, which is the indicator that we are utilizing for our trades, is available for people who hold 160 million Sigma. So that's pretty awesome. And remember, if we just get a retrace at this point to the 618, very common, right? As a potential rejection area, that inefficiency right there, that would be a 371% potential. So, you know, for those who are playing along, you get a little bit, you quadruple it, then you turn around and you take out your initials, and now you have free Sigma, and there you go. You don't have to ever look back. It can do whatever it wants, and you don't care, because it's literally free at that point. So not financial advice, just thoughts. So and then a return to our targets, right? So we go from here. We're starting to lose our percentages because we're going up, but if we were to hit the prior all-time high, you're looking at a 14x. If we hit the 1618, which I fully think we do, you know, it gets a little bit better. We get to an 83 million market cap with a 112x. And then if we ultimately push through to where I think we're going to get to on this wave 3 move, you would be looking at a 2 billion market cap, which, if this may take a long time, but with what XRP is potentially poised to do, that could be quite wild and quite likely, because this takes into account the XRP price action as well. So all right, so good things are ahead, and I mean, great stuff. Rank 2 on the deck screener right now for the XRPL memes, and it's looking great. So correction looks to be done, and it does look like that we're having at least a retrace at this point to 371. So all right, so we have that happening. And what else to tell you? Oh yeah, so we've got Sigma doing great here. Liquidity, that's the one I wanted to hit. Okay, here we go. Here's your 3-day. New longs have loaded up, but we have a ton of shorts at 210, and we've got a whole bunch more at 220. So this is the area that's going to matter. So liquidity is showing that we could sweep lower, but probably higher based off the heat here on the 3-day, but they're stacking on both sides, so expect volatility. Bitcoin's dominance variable could be doing this first bull flag that we have in here. Maybe it's like something like there you go. Maybe it's like that bull flag right there. And then we're going to start marching away. And then this is the one that gets everybody, because it's that same area that we talked about. And so then we jump over to Bitcoin itself, and it's that same area right here that we're talking about in these regions. So like right here, these would be your inefficiency areas that they would come back up to. And then XRP's 4-hour telling us, looks like we got some, at least a day, 2 days of 3 days maybe of upside. So you can see this guy was what? It was 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would take us into Tuesday, Monday, holiday weekend, right? So we might just have a good squish. Then the question is, do we get up to the retrace? Do we get up to that retrace, or do we just keep going? And I'm going for the going. That's the one I want. So let's see what we get. We'll watch those levels as we get there. And then finally, overall XRP indicator be indicating that we are good to go. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and we will check in tomorrow.